Now that Downton Abbey may finally be gone for good, fans are looking to the stars for anything else they're putting out. All of the cast has had exciting careers alongside the show and the movies, and the latest exciting news is coming from the Earl. In today's video, we're talking about Hugh Bonneville's newest venture and what everyone else has been up to since A New Era. First up, Hugh is about to tell us everything. Hugh Bonneville had one of the most memorable roles on the show and in the Abbey, as the father figure and head of the family. He combined the ideals of the old-school English nobleman with more progressive ones as the show went on, and he's become a fan favorite. Now, he's spilling all the details of his life in a tell-all memoir to be released later this year. With a long and glittering career in the industry, he's got a lot to tell, and from what we hear, it's going to have both the personal and professional side of things. Soon enough, we'll get to see it all in Playing Under the Piano. Hamlet, Notting Hill, Frankenstein, Iris, and many more were all huge productions with huge names starring, and one of those names happened to be Hugh Bonneville. On the acting side, we're going to hear tales of working with Dame Judi Dench and the iconic Julia Roberts, with anecdotes about Robert De Niro and Gary Oldman to top it off. No memoir of his would be complete without his role in Paddington, playing alongside a bear with a little marmalade addiction. But we'll also get to delve deeper into the actor's own life, where he'll be speaking about his father's struggle with dementia and his mother's secret double life that he found out about only after she died. The family is completed by a quirky grandmother with a love for cigarettes, gin and tonic, and horse racing. At this rate, Hugh can just make a movie about his own life, and we'd all flock to theaters to watch it. The book's been called beautiful, touching, and funny, and if the actor's work and off-screen interviews are anything to go by, it's going to be a treat to see more of his personality on the pages, and here's our chance to see him up close. If you've missed his role in Downton Abbey, get ready for the opportunity to see the Earl of Grantham just a few feet away from you. To celebrate the release of his book later this year, he's going to be hitting the road and going on tour to promote it. The dates are set for October and November, with the book releasing on October 13th. If you can catch a show, you'll get to read the book along with some live stories from Hugh, and we can't think of a better way to read anything. The tour, titled In Conversation with Hugh Bonneville, has 9 shows lined up, and will cover the UK from London to Edinburgh, with stops in Stratford and Cambridge, where the actor went to college. It'll end on November 24th with a finale in Alleyn School in Dulwich, and the show will mostly cover extra stories from his career, along with a behind-the-scenes look at the process of writing the book. Now, you might be worried about one little detail. The whole tour is in the United Kingdom, so what if you can't make it there? The actor thought of that too, and has everything set up for his international fans. The first night of the tour will be live streamed, which anyone can buy a ticket for. But if you still want to see him in the flesh, don't lose hope. Hugh said in the caption of his announcement post that further dates will be announced, and seeing how popular Downton and his other movies were internationally, he might just come stateside too. Now for the latest on what he's been up to. There's quite a while to wait for the book and the tour, but don't worry, because we've got you covered with all the Bonneville content you could ever want right here. For the most part, we've seen the actor play jolly nice guy roles, whether it was a side character in a 90s classic rom-com or one of the stars of the biggest period drama ever. But all that is going to change with his latest Netflix offering. The official trailer just dropped for I Came By, a political thriller directed by the British-Iranian Babak Anvari, who's famous for his horror thriller Under the Shadow, which scored a BAFTA in 2016. The movie follows a rich guy with a dark secret, so you already know that it isn't like Hugh's usual stuff. He's joined by George McKay, who had his breakout role in the hit 1917. From the trailer, we can see that the movie will follow London social activists/graffiti artists Toby and Jay, played by McKay and Purcell Ascot. They've got that whole eat the rich vibe, vandalizing wealthy people's homes all over the city. Hugh plays Hector Blake, a highly respected and powerful ex-high court judge. Toby goes after his house on his spray paint spree, but instead, he finds something much worse. Hector's hiding his darkest secret in the basement, and we hear on a phone call that it has to do with something he did when he was super angry. Naturally, Toby's life is in danger, along with his loved ones, and he needs to do something about it. The part that shocked fans the most was the kind of character Hugh is playing. He comes off as the good guy to the public in the film, showing his support for refugees and other things. But behind all that is a completely evil man, and fans have gone so far as to call his performance creepy. In any case, we can expect suspense, edge-of-your-seat thrill, and plenty of jump scares. We're all excited for I Came By, but there's actually a chance we might see him in a much more iconic role. The James Bond movie franchise is one of the oldest and most famous to date, and Hugh has actually already had a role in it. In 1997, during the Pierce Brosnan Bond era, the actor played an air warfare officer on HMS Bedford in Tomorrow Never Dies. The film has since become one of the biggest fan favorites in Bond history. At the time, Judi Dench was portraying M, the MI6 head who was the only authority figure in Bond's life. In Skyfall, however, her character was killed off in a heartbreaking scene, and Ralph Fiennes stepped into the role and has played M ever since. Well, according to Hugh, he wouldn't exactly mind having the role either. It's not hard to imagine him as the MI6 boss, but for now, it looks like Ralph Fiennes is here to stay. But another detail is that Daniel Craig's run as the British spy is over, which means the next movie will see a new character take the throne as the iconic Navy commander. Because of this, fans are wondering if the MI6 team, including M, Q, and Moneypenny, will be changed as well. There's no way to tell if we'll ever actually see it happen, but we know it'll be super exciting if it does. Back in Tomorrow Never Dies, Bonneville doesn't have the fame that Downton Abbey gave him, so a role as M would definitely pull a lot of Downton fans to theaters as well. Until we see the next Bond movie in a few years, we can only hope. Moving on, here's what else Crawleys have been up to. First, Lady Edith is back in an iconic role. During the early days of the pandemic lockdown, many people found themselves binging the TV shows of the moment at home. One of these was the wildly popular BBC psychological drama, The Secrets She Keeps. The show starred Laura Carmichael, who played Edith in Downton, as Agatha Feifel, a woman who became friends with Megan, an influencer by chance. The friendship turns sour when Agatha fakes a pregnancy to steal Megan's kid. We're confused too. Now, the show is back with season 2, which follows a podcaster covering Agatha's case, which brings another one of her darkest secrets to light. Plus, here's what everyone said about Violet. The undisputed fan favorite of the Abbey was Violet Crawley, the Dowager Countess, who passed away in the New Era movie. But with the digital release, we got to see a bonus feature with the stars talking about Dame Maggie Smith. The feature shows Mary and her parents, namely Michelle Dockery, Hugh, and Elizabeth McGovern, as they talk about working with Maggie. Michelle still pinches herself because working with the iconic actress was such a real privilege. Elizabeth believes even Maggie doesn't know why people love her so much, and Hugh caps it off perfectly by calling her a phenomenon. And lastly, is there more Downton to come? While many of us think that a new era is the last we'll see of the Crawley family and their friends, that's not entirely true yet. According to creator Julian Fellows, there's been plenty of talk about ending the story before, from as early as the 5th season, but since we got a 6th and 2 movies, the decision clearly didn't stick. For now, all we know is that another movie isn't completely off the table yet, and fans would love to see a neat ending to a movie trilogy and a global phenomenon. That's a wrap for this video. Have you pre-ordered Hugh's book yet? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.